Hey guys, I'm in my car without the kids. A rare thing. I have time in between meeting somebody else, and when my meeting ended in Califon, we did a really fun class today. It was cozy and small group of people, and it was really fun. It's always rewarding to share what these essential oils can do for other people in their life, and kind of opening the door to help them discover how they can incorporate them. I just love it. I absolutely love it. It's so rewarding to hear from people in some time after they have their oils, what they've started to do for them, the different ways that they use them, the cool things that are happening, the burdens that have lifted, the new discoveries and ways that they're using the oils at home, the recipes that they're making, the cool stuff that's happening with their kids, the lack of falling ill, the speed in which everybody gets better. It's just so cool. It's so cool. I'm grateful myself. So the class today went really well. It was fun, and I have extra time, and so sitting next to me in the car is my collection of oils, and I thought what better use of the time in between than to just go over them with you guys, because I'm always talking about them, and sometimes I get asked, well, like, what is the fuss all about? Or I don't really understand it, or I don't really think I need them, or I don't get it, how they work. And I was there too. That was me. Honestly, I've really always thought it was important to eat clean and to live chemical free. I always tried to do that for myself and my family as far back as I can remember. I have friends that say, hey Katie, you were eating organic before it was trendy. Like, you were just buying all organic, and most of us were like, it's a waste of money or it's too expensive. But I have always felt that either we pay now or you pay later, and I've always felt that in my heart it was the right thing to do. One of my best friends, Kimmy, I don't know if you're watching or not, but you have said something that has been super inspiring to me for years. You've completely transformed your own life and your health, and you said that eating healthy, eating organic, eating clean is a sign of self-respect. And that was such a powerful statement for me. So true. So true. So for someone who always turned to natural solutions to begin with, and always was using things like vitamin C, elderberry syrup, colloidal silver, using herbs, using nutrition, using raw garlic, ginger to combat the common cold, Epsom salt baths, you know, I even had essential oils, but I didn't understand the value in what the difference is. But it turns out it's just like everything else in life. There's a standard of quality. So just like we can get conventional carrots that have been genetically modified, they have been sprayed with pesticide, maybe the soil they're grown in has chemical fertilizers in it, and that resides in the carrot. So the absolute same thing goes for our wellness protocol, whatever it is. If it's over-the-counter medication, then it is it's synthetically formulated. It's foreign to our body. It's not natural, and we are composed of 100% natural substance. That's how we were created. We were created organically. So when we give our body something to endure that is not natural, that has been synthesized, that's been formulated, that's been altered, that's been turned into a synthetic, like some pharmaceuticals, for example, then our body has to endure that burden, figure out what to do with it. Typically, a pharmaceutical will just get passed around from organ to organ until the body's trying to figure out how to metabolize this, how to digest it, and most pharmaceuticals take over the body's natural ability to function in a certain way. So when we give our body a synthetic and we rely on it to function because of the synthetic, we're actually lessening the body's natural ability to perhaps create those hormones on its own, perhaps create that natural balance and that healing factor that we were meant to have. So we're typically a lot of times band-aiding a problem and treating a symptom, but we're not treating the cause of why this symptom has arose. So a good analogy and a relatable one, because I'm actually sitting in my car right now for this extra time that I have, is when the check engine light goes on our dashboard. We have two choices. We can keep on driving and sailing down the highway, hoping it's not a big deal, hoping that maybe it'll turn off, or hoping that it won't culminate into this really big issue where the vehicle stops working, it's broken down, it's gotten out of control, and the issue is escalated. So when we have something like indigestion and long-term issues with our gut and inflammation in our gut, or digestive issues that have gone on for a really long time, maybe we're having pancreatic pain, maybe we're having gallstones in our bladder, maybe it's a signal. All of those things are a check engine light for our body. Something's going off and saying, hey, something's wrong, something needs to change, something, maybe the digestive tract needs an oil change. You know, we need to do a cleanse, we need to clear the blocks out, we need to get the toxins out of the fat cells. That's where they reside, all these chemicals that we endure in our society. It's not our fault. It's so readily available to us on the shelf that we're allowed to buy all these chemicals, bring them home, use them at home. We're allowed to ingest chemicals. We're allowed to eat GMOs. We're allowed to eat pesticides. We're allowed to spray glyphosate all over our farms, and that's okay for us to ingest. But you might say, well, it's just a little bit of pesticide on the apple. It's just a tiny little bit, and we just metabolize it and it just goes away. No, over time, that statement is that way of thinking, that mentality is very, very wrong, and it's very hopeful that there'll never be an issue or there'll never be a buildup in our body. So we all have a threshold, and that's what disease is. It's when the body falls out of ease. It's diseased because of an overabundance of a certain amount of a burden, of a toxicity, of a chemical overload, of a poor diet. We can't take it anymore. Or the body falls out of disease because we have a deficiency in certain things. Deficiency in minerals, deficiency in normal healthy hormone production, deficiency in minerals, like I said, that deficiency in certain vitamins, malnutrition. The body's out of balance and it's craving to be in balance. So sometimes, instead of always looking to a synthetic alternative, or perhaps just not having that be the first solution all the time, that we could look to a natural substance that our body will recognize, that our body will take to, that our body will adapt and utilize, and that can be from the same place in which we were created, from our higher power, from nature, from the earth. We are natural beings, and you know what? essential oils seem really trendy right now. I just talked about this earlier in the class. We had a great discussion about it. They're really popular. You see them everywhere. You see them readily available on Amazon. You see them at Bed Bath & Beyond store. You see them at the bookstore. You see them at Home Goods. You see them, oh my gosh, somebody said there's a whole display at Kohl's. So they're everywhere, and in my opinion, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's raising awareness for natural solutions, and I see that progression happening throughout the years. More organic food in the stores. You even see some commercials on TV, like for the Honest Company. So there's an awareness, and moms and all of us, we don't just have to be moms, we're all trying to do better. I wanted to do even better than I was always doing when I became a mom. So I'm so grateful that I found this. It took my standards that I had always been searching for in the stores, spending a lot of money trying to stay healthy and trying to pick out the best of the best. But really what it came down to was I was trusting the health food store to carry the best of the best. I didn't have the support system or the wherewithal or the time as a mom to go researching all the sourcing of all the ingredients that were in the supplements that I was buying, or the greens powder that I was getting, or the immunity support that I was taking. I guess within my network and within my research, I started to trust certain brands, but I still didn't trust the company that was making these things as much as I do Young Living. And mostly that came from being able to go and visit the farm myself and seeing all of this firsthand with my own eyes, and planting lavender and planting yarrow on the farm myself with my hands in the soil. And I spent all day talking to the chemists. I watched the distillery. I saw the plant material go only a couple 100 feet away from the farmland into the distilleries on site. And it's just absolutely fascinating and absolutely amazing how much I've learned, and my heart just sings to be able to share it with everybody else. So so where was I going? I get sidetracked and kind of nervous doing videos, because I don't know, we just get that way. My self-conscious stuff and everything starts to come back. But so the collection of essential oils from Young Living is how I got started. That's how most people get started. So when we choose a natural solution that actually works, because I had so many products that I would buy at the health food store, or natural remedies that I would try, on my own before things got taken to the next level through Young Living and through the essential oils. That I was telling someone a story the other day. I had like a vapor rub, like a cream for kids. So I bought it when Michael was younger and he had congestion. So I picked it up at the health food store. It was like $16 or $16.99, all natural, but I'm not really sure why it was still blue. So to me, that was like marketing in a way. It was still trying to mimic Vicks Vapor Rub that we're all familiar with. And people swear by Vicks, but I'll tell you, it has camphor in it. It has some chemicals in it. It has dye in it. And the sourcing of the eucalyptus is it's at least half synthetically formulated and altered. So it's not natural. And while it may work really well for people and they swear by it, it's so much better for your health to switch to something like Young Living's respiratory blend, which is RC, and it stands for respiratory care. So it has 3 different varieties of eucalyptus in it. The point of my story is with RC, which is just one of the 11 essential oils that you get in your beginner's collection with Young Living, is that I can make my own vapor salve anytime I want for my kids by adding 1 drop in my hand of the RC and then a little bit of coconut oil, rubbing it on my son's chest, rubbing it on my daughter's feet. And if I need to make it stronger for my husband or I can just add 2 drops. And now I also have the option to put that blend in the diffuser on the nightstand, so that we're all getting the benefit of that RC going through the air quality in our room, and that's supporting our respiratory tract, and it's making it easier for us to breathe freely. And not only is it just opening those airways, but the essential oils from the volatile plants that create this pure essential oil, they actually resonate on a frequency that matches our respiratory system. So it's also providing nourishment and supporting wellness to that whole system. Again, not just providing a band-aid, but actually going and affecting the body system in a positive way for the body to heal the way that we were supposed to get better, not with synthetic options. So my bottle of RC is never going to go rancid. That salve that I bought for $16, $16.99 at the health food store actually went rancid because the oils that were mixed in it went bad. So that was a complete waste. I wasn't able to make it stronger when I needed it. It wasn't versatile. It wasn't portable, really, if we were going and traveling or whatnot. So big jars, really heavy glass. These are extremely easy to take with us, as long as you keep caps on and you keep them out of direct UV light. They never expire. So this opened up a world of wellness for me. And I really tend to ramble. I'm going on 16 minutes now. I want it to be a 5-minute video, so it's crazy, crazy long. But Thieves is an immune supporting blend. It cleans the air when you diffuse it, and we can make a Thieves immune tea with it. As well, I like to add a drop of lemon. Lemon has naturally occurring D-limonene in it, so you can Google that and see all of the benefits to D-limonene. Young Living citrus essential oils are cold pressed from the rind. So a lot of times I get asked the question, well, how is that different from lemon juice? Well, lemon juice is incredibly beneficial and cleansing for us as well, but lemon juice doesn't fight and digest and get rid of the petrochemicals that stay latent in our bodies. They're all around us, and whether we want to believe it or not, yes, we have them in our system, and this is a proactive way to clean them out. So lemon essential oil is cold pressed from the rind, and it does not have citric acid in it, but it has the nutritional components of lemon. Purification purifies. It cleans the air in the diffuser. I use this in my laundry routine all the time. It smells incredible. You can also make a buzz away spray with it to enjoy the outdoors, annoyance free. You can put a drop in stinky shoes. You can put a drop on a cotton ball and put it in the air vent in your car. I like to do that a lot with Thieves too in the wintertime when we travel with the kids place to place. I like to diffuse Thieves in the car just with a cotton ball. It's the cheapest diffuser you'll ever get. So frankincense is so great for skin. It's great for meditation. It's very grounding. This is very soothing for my emotions. I've struggled so much with emotional crap over the years. That's a big story also of why I came to Young Living, those of you that know me. Something I've kind of been ashamed of for a number of years, but I'm okay with it now. Talking about it a little bit more anyway. It's really great for skin. It's great for a skin serum. Like I said, it's grounding, it's nourishing, it's wonderful for cellular health. This is something you can take a drop of every day in water or put it topically on your skin. This helps people with skin abnormalities and some issues that can arise when cell reproduction in the body goes bad, if you know what I'm saying. Lavender is called the Swiss Army knife of oils, and incredibly relaxing and soothing, wonderful for the skin as well. Digize is the digestive blend, has tarragon, fennel, ginger, anise. It's wonderful for after Thanksgiving when we've eaten too much. It's wonderful for when we're tasting food long after we've eaten it. It's really, really soothing and nourishing for the intestines. It gets things moving. It works on combating those pathogens and those nasty things that can come our way and settle in our stomach. I don't actually love the smell of DiGize, but I have certainly learned to appreciate it, especially when I had the stomach bug the other week, and for Brooke as well. Incredible. Peppermint's wonderful for a boost of energy, to wake us up in the morning. 1 drop in the palm of your hand and you can inhale it, or put it in the diffuser. You can put a drop on the back of your neck. It's instant air conditioning in the summertime, and it also normalizes and regulates body temperatures when they may escalate for children in these winter months when they catch nasty stuff that's going around. So peppermint's wonderful for head tension as well, and it's also really great to take with you. Let's say if you're going on a cruise and the boat was a rockin' and the belly is a shaken and you feel, so this has been a savior for newly pregnant moms as well. Peppermint is incredible. So Panaway is great for muscle tension and discomfort. It's great if you have issues with joints. It's wonderful for joint health, and it doesn't just alleviate the symptoms, but it actually goes into the tissue of the muscle and through our skin, and actually has nourishing reparative properties as well. So Panaway is incredible. I think that's it. Copaiba. There's a couple of herbs out there, wonderful herbs out there that are highly, highly anti-inflammatory. So those herbs have been known to really, decrease inflammation in the body. So if you were wanting to use an essential oil, perhaps for that same benefit, you might find in your research that Copaiba has very similar characteristics to help us, to help our body into balance the way that those herbs do. So this is also can be act as because of the way that Copaiba helps our immune system. This can actually help amplify other essential oils on us. So if my son's body temperature is climbing and I need to amplify the effects of peppermint when I'm using that along his spine with a carrier oil, with some coconut oil, I will layer it with Copaiba if I need to be a little bit more aggressive with that. So that's it. That's the oils in the kit, and I've talked on way too long. So I gotta go to my next appointment. But I hope this was helpful for anyone watching. I love all you guys. I love Facebook to be able to do this. I hope yeah, if you have any questions, just comment below. I don't just talk about oils. I mean, we do a natural lifestyle, and I'm really passionate about healthy cooking and trying to make chemical-free solutions all around my life. We don't always have the ability to control what we're exposed to when we leave home. It's a burdensome world that we live in, but we can choose what we spend our hard-earned money on, what we buy, what we put on our children, and the choices that we make for our own health. So yeah, so thanks for watching. My heart just sings for all this, so I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you have a good night. Bye.